Welcome back. We are now going to do a 2-video series on some advanced Prises de feu. Now, if you remember from single rapier, we've already looked at several types of prise de feu. We have looked at croisés, with and without expulsion, and we've also looked at binds. Now, we're going to do a specific type of bind called bind to line. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so let's say that we are right foot forward, and that Dante has just done an attack to my left shoulder, and I have done a parry 4. Now, in single rapier, we had a bind through, and my goal on the bind through would have been to cut my partner's hip right there. But my partner, seeing that I'm going to do that, decides to remove that hip by passing back. And now keep your hand nice and high here. Keep your hand high. Keep your hand high. Up, there we go. And I can no longer hit that hip, but I still have control of the blade. And so I will expel it by moving past it, and now I can open up a line of attack. So that's a bind through. One more time. He attacks here. I parry. So yeah, as you're bound through, just keep that wrist high so that you're not pushing my blade into your knee. Okay, so I bind through. I attempt to cut. He passes back, and I pull it through there. Now, in a bind to line, I'm going to go directly into that thrust attack. I'm really not trying to cut. There's no reason to do that. These are not really cutting weapons. I wouldn't be doing much damage. What I really want to do is thrust. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do one smooth motion that expels the blade while also fully extending my blade. It feels so good when you do it correctly. And Dante is doing an excellent job of allowing himself to be cleared here. But we use the fort of the blade around the foible here and then expel as we extend into a thrust. And I'm going from palm supinated with parry 4 into a pronated thrust attack directly pointed at his belly button. So one more time, let's take a look at that. And bind to line. There we go. And now we can retreat, advance. And then Dante could come back, just to retreat. And Dante can now attempt to parry. Good, he can do a full counter parry, or he can just do a direct parry back to the other side. Yep, low line, low line. There we go. Okay, now that was from parry 4. Let's take a look at it from parry 3. So here we are, right foot forward. Dante has just attacked my right shoulder. I have parry 3. Now my hand is pronated. I'm going to do a bind to line, a little lower here. I'm going to do a bind to line, clearing his blade, moving into an extension with my palms supinated. So I'm going from pronated here. Keep it nice and low. You want your foible on the fort. I'm going to use my fort, wrapping it around his foible, and then push it aside as I extend. And now, of course, we can retreat, advance. And Dante can parry directly. Low line parry, though. Low line. Give me a 7 instead of a 1. There we go. Or he could do a full counter parry and parry the other direction. Okay, so thank you so much, Dante. Let's take a look at these. Now, these bind to line really only go from a high line to a low line. So here's what I would like you to do. I'd like you to start right foot forward. I would like you to show me a parry 4, and then I would like you to smoothly clear that blade and into a thrust attack directly towards the belly. And then we advance, and we're parried. And now we're going to do a parry 3, and we're going to bind to line in one smooth motion, bind to line, and advance as they retreat, and we are parried. And that's all you're going to need to do. Just that simple bind to line. So first show it to me from 4, pronated wrist, supinated wrist, moving into pronated wrist, and then from 3 into a supinated thrust. But do it with footwork. So 4, bind to line, advance, parry, from 3, bind to line, advance. All right? Next, in the next video, we're going to look at petit envelopement.